satisfaction, for reliability, for confidence, and our branding plays massive role.
Doctor, when it comes to this particular market segment, the industries, branding, uh, do you think it shows sufficient attention on branding their products, or is it just revenue or your pricing or you're having the proper place to get it delivered? Is that all that's been considered in the current context, or are these industries actually making an effort to create a brand even at the exhibition? When you see their logos, when you see their brand colors, when you see how they are displaying things, there are many people who actually do that. But are you satisfied with the branding when it comes to this particular industry, doctor?
Um, I think we've come a long way if you look at last 20, 30 years, but doesn't mean that we've reached a level where we can be happy. Our branding plays massive role. Under the first question we talked about the importance of having the right product, which is known to the consumers as a right product. But at the same time, brand value is something you got to keep building on, because when everything else is equal, you then sort of look for brands for satisfaction, for reliability, for confidence, and for all of that. So brand is not just a logo. It is the name that you sort of use, but underneath, there's so much substance, right? Where it is manufactured, what technology has been used to manufacture that product, who are the service agents, how has been their service over the past several years, the customers who are using that particular product, what is their experience with that product. So all these elements go into creating that brand, which you will finally trust. And there are other industries where if you know that it is that particular brand, you don't ask questions. Say for example, a vehicle, right? There are so many brands, 100 plus brands. But if I tell you to recall 5 brands, you will always have that 5 brands. So why are they brands? Because of your experience that you have had, and the experience your friends has had. So it is something like that. And building a brand takes a kind of a concerted effort, and you got to do that very strategically. It's not something that is full of fun, as the younger generation may think. So over years, you got to build that brand and sustain it as well. Sometimes there are situations where you've done your advertising correctly, you've done everything else that you can do in order to get into the hearts and minds of your people. But unless you sustain the brand performance or your product performance, you're unable to remain where you are, or retain that number 1, number 2, or to be within top 10. So that is also an important part of it when it comes to brand building and brand equity, sustainability.
Doctor, you raised out a good point there. When it comes to this, we are in a age where we go appreciate, look at things like this, at least for knowledge building sake, and even for your own requirement, we go for these things. Doctor, the new generation, or we talk about the Gen Zs, they are in a totally different uh, level when it comes to what we have been thought of when it comes to all these things where mingling with products, going and seeing. It's a totally different approach to this particular category. What is your take on that, Doc?
Yes, I mean, when we talk about Gen Zs, I don't think we can sort of put them in one, category and say they are Gen Zs and this is how they behave. Within that I see, different sort of buckets, within that category. Some are very intelligent and they have a rational approach towards decision making. And then the other extreme is where they are just driven by emotions and emotions only, right? So I see both ends, and then in the middle have other types of people. So I wouldn't generalize and say Gen Zs are this, but we have a tendency to think that they are that, right? So obviously, they want fast results and they make quicker decisions. They are, emotionally driven. But having said that, we also have to admit the fact that they are more intelligent, than the previous generations.
Absolutely.
They're very, very sharp, right? So you should be able to, use the right communication techniques and methods to be able to explain to them as to what is right, what is wrong. So with that, I personally believe that you can get them to accept the right product, right value proposition, right of everything else. It's just that the approach has to be different, right? If we approach the Gen Zs
In
the
their
same way we approach the older generations, you will not succeed. So it is a case where you understand where they're coming from, understanding their likes and dislikes, their styles and all of that, their rhythm, their tone, and all of that, and then aligning yourself, with their type of communication and using the right communication techniques and your body language, all of that, then you can certainly convince them on what is right for them and what is right for everyone else as well.
Right, Doctor. From a business growth perspective, why do you think exhibitions create opportunities that normal advertising cannot?
Okay, so the best answer I can give you is that I was in an industry which is science and chemistry. I was in the energy sector, working for one of the largest multinationals in the world, a company that is 1.5 times bigger than the size of Sri Lankan economy, Chevron Corporation. So if you look at the energy sector, there are numerous global regular exhibitions that happen. Right, I had the opportunity of addressing one of those exhibitions, one of the topmost exhibitions in the world, in Houston, when I represented Sri Lanka to promote Sri Lanka's oil exploration opportunity. So I would like to ask a question as to why is this happening in the world if people think that exhibitions cannot give you the desired results. Exhibitions are happening in every single industry of the world, right? For example, one of the industries that I'm in today is cosmetics.
Okay.
I mean, there are so many global exhibitions, regional exhibitions that happen across the entire world. I mean, the latest is what was held in Thailand. I mean, you wouldn't expect a cosmetic, exhibition to be held in Thailand. So there is one in Dubai. I'm talking about this region. So it happens, all over the world. So when it comes to engineering, given that exhibitions are not just important but critical, for the people who developed engineering products to be able to approach the customers, what better way than meeting them one-on-one, using these opportunities to be able to really talk about why your product is good, why you think your product is good for the potential customer, right? So it's not a case where a normal salesman will talk to somebody, these are professionals, who you can meet at these
Yeah,
places as
yeah,
well,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whereas
And the hands-on people are there to explain you.
with technology background, they are professionally qualified in their own areas, and some of them go beyond their own areas as well, beyond their regular scope. So you meet the intellectuals as well, right? So therefore you're able to get more information than what is actually required
Absolutely.
for you to be able to make that right judgment in terms of associating with your engineered product. So I mean, it's critical, and that's the word I can use.
So basically, that knowledge cannot be given from a 300,000 30-minute, 30 seconds ad.
Not at all, not at all. You can only talk about the bullets,
Yeah.
to say, okay, it does this,
Yeah.
but how does it happen?
Yeah, no
Well,
way.
it has to be a face-to-face interaction.
Dr. Inco 2026 is positioned as Sri Lanka's leading industrial and commercial exhibition. What message would you give to the manufacturers, exporters, and service providers who are thinking whether to participate or not?
Okay, I'll just give a very broad answer to that. If Sri Lanka is to achieve economic independence, economic renaissance, and economic development, right, Sri Lanka has to embrace technology, right? Absolutely, there is no way that we can, get to the next level with how we manage, productivity. We do not have economies of scale as a country because we are a very small market, in terms of our market size. So we are got to, cross borders, and in our effort to cross borders, we've got to ensure that we are able to produce our products, at the right cost level, to be able to take on the large geographies where they have large economies of scale. So what does that boil down to? It boils down to pricing fine. If your price is not good, how much ever good your product is, you are unable to create the market you want to create. So how can one keep reducing the cost of product? It is by embracing new technology, which will give you all the efficiencies that you require. So from that perspective, we need to embrace new technology and go through that evolution. From labor intensive to technology, backed production. So you got to go see as to what technology is available, which can give you that edge I was talking about, right? So that is a kind of prime need for all Sri Lankan industrialists, right? So that is one. Number two, yesterday's technology isn't good enough for today, and today's technology isn't enough for tomorrow. It keeps evolving tremendously, right? And with that evolution, you see the prices of some of these engineered products coming down as well.
Absolutely, drastically.
Right?
Yeah.
Drastically, with all the new, technologies the world has embraced. So it may be a case where, okay, you have a machine today, which does the job for you,
Yeah.
but there is a better, machine for you, with maybe
So many add-ons.
6 months payback period,
Yeah.
1 year payback period in terms of your capital, investment. So good to go and see, because if you are not considering those, your competitors do consider, you will soon be out of the market, right? So you got to keep pace with it, and to be able to keep pace with it, you got to go see what is available in terms of new innovations and new technology, that can help you reduce your cost and be more competitive, and at that competitive advantage to your product, and then go sell it. Now, when we were reviewing the first question, we said product is not good unless the consumer knows that the product is good. Mind you, having a good product, only does not create a market for you, because we work and live in a fiercely competitive market environment, and price matters as well, right? So it has to be the best quality product at the lowest price possible. You can't move away from that, right? So for you to be able to have that cost advantage, what new technology is available, and that's what you go to explore.
That's right. So, for those of you who are out there still thinking whether you should be a part of this exhibition or not, as for what Doctor had to say, things are evolving. What is current today is obsolete tomorrow. Whatever facility that is given, සමහරක් වෙලාවට ඕගලන් හිතන්න පුළුවන් ඕගලන්ගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක තමයි තියෙන හොඳම ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක. හැබැයි ඔයාගේ තරගකරුවෙක් ඇවිල්ලා ඔයාගේම තියෙන ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක තව වෙන බෙනිෆිට්ස් එක්ක දෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඔයා දන්නේම නැතුව ඔයා එතන දෙවනි තැනට වැටලා. ඉතින් මේ වගේ දේවල් මේ හැම දෙයක්ම පොඩ්ඩක් අපි හොඳට විස්තරාත්මකව බැලුවොත් එහෙම මේ එක්සිබිෂන් එකට එන්න ඕන කාරණේ මේ වෙනකොට ඔබට පැහැදිලිව වැටහෙනවා ඇති කියලා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන එක. හින්දා මතක තියාගන්න එක්සිබිෂන් එකට අවශ්‍ය කරන කුටි සඳහා ඒ ලබා ගන්න විදියේ විස්තර හැම දෙයක්ම ඔබට ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේ කුටි ඉතාමත් වේගෙන් ඉවර වීගෙන යනවා. ඉතින් මේ වෙනකොටත් ඔබ ඔබේ ඒ අවශ්‍ය කරන ස්ථානය වෙන් කරවාගෙන නැතිනම් ඉක්මන් කරලා මේ කාරණය කරගන්න. මොකද මේ වෙනකොට ඔබට පැහැදිලි ඇති මේ එක්සිබිෂන් එකෙන් එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ කර්තව්‍යයෙන් වෙන සේවාව ඔබට ඔබගේ ආයතනයට ඔබගේ ඒ නිෂ්පාදනයට. ඒකින්ද මතක තියාගන්න මාර්තු මාසේ 13 14 15 කියන දවස්වල තමයි කොළඹ බණ්ඩාරනායක ජාත්‍යන්තර අනුස්මරණ ශාලාවේ මේ එක්සිබිෂන් එක පැවැත්වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් නොපමාව ඇදුම් කරන්න ඔබේ ස්ථානය වෙන් කරවා ගන්න. Doctor, in conclusion, you want to add up anything before we wind up, Doctor?
No, I mean, as I said, if we are to, march forward successfully, technology, evolution is a must. And how many technological exhibitions are happening in Colombo? Not that many, right? We only have a very, handful of exhibitions that happen regionally, globally. I mean, obviously there are a lot more happening, but you don't want to, fly, many kilometers to be a part of that, because we have agents here, we have, franchise holders here, we have people who have collaborations with global technology companies who will be a part of it, I believe. So therefore, take the opportunity and make sure that you keep elevating your competitive advantages, and not only should you focus on the Sri Lankan market by trying to share the pie we have, will not take us anywhere as a country. We need to go much beyond that in order to explore foreign markets, cross borders, and gain the scale we want to become global organizations. So that is what is required, and with that only you are able to surely drive the country's economic growth. So this exhibition, not only should you focus on building your business, but think beyond that. Have a feel for the larger population of 21.7 million people, and do what it takes to enlighten their lives. Be happy only when you know that Sri Lankans are happier than before.
There we are, words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Dr. Kishu Gomes, joining us in informing the importance, and as he very correctly said at the end, let's all get together, and when everybody is happy, it's then we as a country can move forward. Doctor, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for your time and for being here with us and explaining and giving your views on the process of this exhibition that's going to happen. So remember, once again, March 13th, 14th and 15th, at the BMICH. Inco 2026 will happen. If you haven't reserved your spot, do so immediately. Otherwise, you are going to be disappointed. Thank you very much.